Good morning, good morning, good morning, good people. Welcome back yet again to The Right Mentality. It is your host, Antonio Wright. We have a special guest here today. This is Miss Sasha Wolf, the founder as well as director of Still I Run. Now, I'm going to let her tell y'all a little bit about her before we hop into this amazing show today, okay?
Good morning. How are you doing?
Yeah, awesome. I mean, it's nighttime, but we're not gonna tell y'all all of that. It just comes out in the morning.
Hey, you know what? I love it.
Yes, yes. So tell the people a little bit about you, Miss Sasha.
Yeah, I am a founder and director of a nonprofit located in Grand Rapids, Michigan, but we're a nationwide nonprofit. And then when I'm not managing that, I also work part-time at Herman Miller Furniture as a communication specialist. And then I am also a wife and a mother of three tiny children, a 4-year-old, a 2-year old, and a soon to be 1-year old. And then I also run for my own mental health. So I'm busy.
Oh man, she is quite busy. So, well, with all of that being said, good people, we back. Today's episode of The Right Mentality. Can't stop, won't stop. What does that mean? I don't know. Could mean several things, a lot of things. But let me tell you what it means from the right mentality. Can't stop, won't stop. Now, when we run in this race of life, there's so many things that come at us, so many obstacles, trials, tribulations. You never know what it could be, what it is. But I want to ask, do you run away from it or do you run towards it and face it? Now, Miss Sasha, let's get into this. Now, have you ever discovered that running towards problem situations help rather than running away from them?
They have, just because, I mean, when you try and run away from a problem, chances are that it's just going to follow right behind you and it's going to get you eventually. So I never used to be a person that wanted to tackle my problems head on.
Yeah.
But now I am. And I think that's why I've gotten to where I am in life because, yeah, it's scary as hell, but sometimes you just got to run towards those problems.
Most definitely. And I feel like that's where a lot of people in life, I would say they kind of mess up because we want to, it's easier to run away from something versus take it head on. So it's like if I have an issue with a family member or something at work, just whatever life has to throw at us, let me push it over there or just not deal with it right now. But I mean, let's tackle it head on, because what other
Yeah.
way can you solve this problem besides knocking it out?
Well, and just because you avoid it doesn't mean it doesn't exist anymore. It's hiding around there somewhere.
There it is. There it is. That's what I love to, like, I tell people now when it comes to certain situations and people take their own life, that is a, how do we say it? Is a long-term solution to a short-term problem.
Yep.
We can fix certain things in life. We can deal with certain things, but to, try and avoid them, I look at it like this: go to sleep. Tomorrow when you
Oh, a
wake
good
up,
nap.
it's gonna be right there in your face when you wake up. So why not just go ahead and take care of it right then and there?
Yeah, I mean, that kind of plays a little bit into my life story. I mean, I was diagnosed with depression and anxiety when I was a teenager, and I decided I went on Prozac, but then I decided to avoid the problem in every manner. Like I did go for follow-up appointments. I didn't go to therapy. I didn't tell anyone about it. Just
Mhm.
kind of took my Prozac weekly for 10 years. And then finally it got to the point where my depression outgrew my medication because I avoided it. And then all
Oh,
of a sudden I
wow.
found myself in a mental health hospital. Like seriously, my
Yeah.
problems, my issues, me avoiding it finally caught up to me after a decade.
Wow. That's amazing because it's like I said, it's not going anywhere. Like if you don't take it head on, it's going to stay right there. So now,
Hmm.
what would you say? What drives you to keep going on those dark days?
I think for me, probably my family, like my husband, definitely, and my children. It's really hard dealing with depression and anxiety, but still, I get out of bed every single day to do my work for Still I Run because I'm hoping that I'm making a difference in the world today so that hopefully the world can be a little easier for my children should they inherit a mental illness from me.
Yeah.
And hopefully, I'm making the world a little bit of a better place for anyone else who's ever suffered from a mental illness. I think that's what keeps me going. I'm a big empath. Like my heart is always on my sleeve. I'm always worrying about others. So I kind of keep going just so that I can help other people.
Absolutely. Look, I'm the same way. Like, believe me, there are days I do not want to get out of bed. There are days that I'm just like, listen, not today. Let me just, I want to take a break. But you have to look at what's more valuable. Who needs you more than you?
Yeah.
Of course, we always need ourselves, but who else needs you to keep going, to keep pushing, to keep striving? Just like you, my daughter. I have a daughter. I want her to understand that, hey, it's days that I'm tired. I just don't want to do it. How kids say, I don't want to go to school today. It's too
Hmm.
much work. If I could go back in time and tell myself, hey, when you get to the adult stages, that's when the real work comes in. Enjoy this school. Like, and I love telling my
Oh my
clients, like,
goodness, yes.
yes, I work with a lot of kids, and they tell me all the time, I'm so tired. I can't get up in the morning. You have no idea what tired really is. I mean, you don't.
It's so much harder as an adult. I
Definitely.
remember in school doing like math homework. Math is not my thing. I'm a communicator. And I remember going to my mom, I can't wait till I'm adult. It's going to be so much easier. I don't have to do this. Sure, I don't have to do word math problems anymore, but I got far bigger problems to deal with now, and it is way harder.
Absolutely. I'm telling you. And like, I love math. I still love math. But like today, like when my daughter comes to me and says, can you help me with this math homework? The math that we did back then, it's not 2 plus 2 anymore. It's two
No,
in a
no.
box, and then you got another box, and then you got a box down here. I'm like, what teacher, what scientist came up with this stuff? You know what? Never mind. I'm getting off topic. I'm sorry, people. Let me get back to the
It's
show. Let me get back
okay.
to the show. Now, yes, yes, yes. My daughter drives me, your family drives you. We have to find something
Mhm.
that drives us to keep us, to push us to keep going. So, what? I'm gonna go back to it, might as well. But what would you tell your younger self today if you
Ooh,
could?
man, that's a tough one because there's so much. I
Yeah.
wish I could spend like an entire day with the
Exactly.
Sasha of the past. I think the biggest thing I would tell a younger version of myself is don't be so hard on yourself. Like I'm
Mhm.
still very hard on myself as an adult, and I realize now what a waste of time that is. But like if
Yeah.
I could tell my younger self and stop that negative cycle early,
Mhm.
I would have avoided so much pain in my older adult life. So yeah,
Exactly.
have some grace on yourself, younger Sasha.
Listen, I'm the same. I would have honestly, I would say I probably would have told myself to pay attention a lot more
That's a good one.
because I think it over fascinated me to get in high school and see what it was like to be around so many different people. And I went to a high school that was on a college campus. So not only did I have high school to worry about, I had college as well to worry
Oh,
about. So
wow.
it was all migrated together. So now, okay, I'm gonna be honest. I was not concerned about work. I was more concerned about the girls. Okay. So, like I said,
Oh, yeah.
you have you got the high school girls and then you got the college girls. So it's like, so yeah, Antonio, you should have paid attention a little bit more. Just a little bit. But hey, I would say I appreciate the race that I've ran thus far to be where I'm at today. Because I guess I would say if it wasn't for me not paying attention back in the day, I wouldn't be where I am today. So I get, if I high five my younger self, good job, I guess.
Yeah, it's so very true. Like all the cred we went through as kids, like it made us who we are today. And like the
Mhm.
stuff I went through as a young adult and teenager, I wouldn't be doing what I am today if it weren't for those trials and tribulations way back then.
Absolutely. That is the most definite truth. And like I tell people that all the time, it's always a reason for the things that we go through in life. There's always a reason. So to
Yeah.
I mean, in honesty, do you feel like actually, let's put it this way. I feel like if I could have told myself to pay attention a little bit more when I was younger, I probably wouldn't have the right mentality. I probably wouldn't be doing the things that I'm doing today because I would have had my focus elsewhere and I
Yeah.
won't be doing it. So, hey, we here, we doing it. So now, Miss Sasha. Now listen, y'all. Y'all heard what she said. She got 3 kids. She got a husband. She got all that to take care of. So we're not taking up all her time today. We appreciate her for coming on here talking to us today. Now, Miss Sasha, listening to you, getting advice from you, because I love to take pieces of advice from all my guests that come on the show. Listening to you, giving back to the people, the good people that are listening. What would be 2 pieces of advice that you could give us today to keep running forward in this race of life?
I mean, I know I said it was the same piece of advice I would give myself, but like give yourself some grace, especially nowadays.
Yeah.
Life is hard. It's exponentially harder than what it used to be. And we're all just doing our
Yep.
best in this wild, mixed up world.
Exactly.
Even if you don't feel like you're doing your best, you are.
Hmm.
And then I guess the other piece of advice I have, and this is coming from the big empath in me, is it's so easy to judge people initially by like what their reaction is, how they react to things, but you truly don't know what's going on in the background, like what made them respond the way they did.
Yeah.
When I'm in the grocery store and someone cuts in front of me in line, or like I'm driving and someone cuts me off in traffic, like my first initial reaction is I want to do bad things. But then I think
Yeah.
back, I'm like, oh gosh, what have they been going through?
Mhm.
What made them make that bad decision? And yes, some people are just bad.
Yeah.
But I mean, in reality, a lot of us are just struggling, and that's how we're acting out. So just give everybody else a little grace as well as yourself. Those are my 2 pieces of advice.
Fair enough. I love that because listen, like you said, you never know what that person is going through. You never know like how they woke up this morning. That goes
Hmm.
back to a movie. I can't think of the name of it, but a guy sitting in his car at a red light, lady behind him, blew the horn, and just, distraught him. He was in his own headspace.
Yeah. Yep.
the movie was pretty much about him going after her because all he did, he pulled up beside her and he was like, you mind apologizing to me? I was just having a bad day. You know, if you just would apologize, I can be going about my day. And she cursed him out and he ended up killing her whole family. So be gracious
Yeah.
to everybody because you never know what they're going through. They never know what you're going through. Like she said, people, just show some grace to yourself as well as to others. Okay?
Yeah. I like to believe that everybody is inherently good. Maybe that's a little naive of me.
No.
My husband would say I'm naive.
I mean, it's a sparkle, like maybe a Skittle size piece of
I love it.
niceness inside of everybody.
Yep. Yeah, I could roll with that.
Yeah. We just gotta, dig through the needle stack to find it, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, but hey, we here, we love it. So now, Miss Sasha, like I said, the right mentality. Oh, wait a minute, let me give y'all my piece of advice. It's everywhere.
Yeah, let's hear yours,
it's
dude.
everywhere. Okay. When you change, well, it's not everywhere yet, but one day it will be. But when you change your mentality, everything else flows. Okay. Now, what that means is when you change this mental, whatever you're doing, whatever you're going through, rewire that mind frame to understand that when I change my mindset, anything is possible. Okay, here we go. Now, Miss Sasha.
I love that.
I know where I can find you, but where can the good people listening find you at?
Yeah, we're primarily on 2 different social networks. I know there's a bajillion out there, but I don't have time for all of them. Plus, I don't know how to do the TikToks.
It's too
that's
much
hard.
work. Too much work.
So, oh my goodness, yes. So you can find us on Instagram at Still I Run Community or Facebook at Still I Run or our website, stillirun.org.
Perfect. Now, if you didn't get it, if you weren't listening, of course, I'm gonna put it in the description. Okay. Now, good people. Thank Miss Tasha. I'm sorry. My mind. All day. I'm sorry. Let's thank Miss Sasha for coming on here today, giving us these words, telling us this advice. Good people. Always remember, keep the right mentality.